Hello everyone and welcome to the 6.7 update for EliteMobs. It's been a long time coming. The last update, 6.6, was back in September, early September, and we are now in late January. And that's for good reason. A lot of things have changed. And it is the last update of the combat system. I'll be talking about the 7.0 update first, and then I'll be talking about what changed for 6.7. But for now, let me just mention that it's mostly optimizations, it's mostly some tweaks to some issues that were present before, and it's been preparing things for 7.0. So it's a big rewrite, but there's not a huge amount of new features, although the ones that are new are actually pretty cool. So we'll get to that in a minute, but first, 7.0. Alright, so the 7.0 update. It has been voted for by Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/MagmaGuy, thank you for supporting, to be the Adventurers Guild update. This has three key features. The first one is the Adventurers Guild itself and the quest system. The second one is the arena system, and the third one is the dungeon system. The quest system is what you would expect from World of Warcraft quests, so you get quests to kill certain amounts of mobs and get certain items and clear certain challenges. I'm not going to get into too much detail with any of these features because I want this video to be short and I don't want to drag things. So, you have quests, you have the arena system where it's mostly a high score thing. You survive through waves in an arena and at the end your high score gets posted and people can challenge it and you'll get rewards based on how well you did. And finally, you have the dungeon system. The dungeon system is the meat of this plugin. Of this plugin. With this update, the dungeons are going to be the main feature of EliteMobs. This is a pre-built challenge in a custom map. You fight through waves of mobs in certain rooms, and sometimes through mini-bosses, and sometimes through full-size bosses. And you go through corridors, and you complete challenges within the dungeon. And at the end, you get a reward from the final boss or from some chests. This is very much in the same style as World of Warcraft once again. And I actually have the name for the first dungeon as well as the map. Thank you to Gus of Realm of the Theridan for providing the map for the Adventurers Guild hub and the second dungeon, and they are right now working on the first dungeon, so that's pretty cool. But the name of that dungeon is the Dead Mines, and if you are a World of Warcraft fan like I am, you might recognize that name. It draws inspiration from there. But it is also important that I mention that the hub and the dungeons are things you can make on your own. So I'll be providing all the tools necessary to make your own hub and your own dungeons. It's a lot of effort and it's a lot of work and requires a lot of tweaking. So I want to be able to provide people with pre-made things that I use so that they can enjoy the plugin more easily. I'll be providing with 5 dungeons throughout this update. It should take about 10 months, maybe a little bit more, to make all of these dungeons and the dungeon system and the arenas and the Adventurers Guild. But I think it will be time well spent making these features. That's most of what I want to mention for the Adventurers Guild update. There's a lot more to it, but for this video, I think that's enough. I'll be making more videos talking about it in the future. So, I mean, I'm not one to usually ask to subscribe because I'm not a YouTuber, but if you actually care about this, the number one resource is Discord, and number two, this resource for this is probably this YouTube channel. So, you know, think about it. And now, the 6.7 update. Now, the 6.7 update. A lot of things have changed, and it would be easier to just list the things that didn't change. So I'm not going to bother too much with it. You can get the full changelog in the Spigot page. It's probably easier to browse it like that, but in general, I've retweaked the combat system. I've added a lot to the anti-exploit system. There's been a lot of tweaks done to high-level combat, to the item system as well, a little bit. The custom items and the unique items are now adjustable to the level of the mob. I'll be making a separate video explaining those features for people interested in making custom items or editing unique items. And overall, I've added more powers as well. Before I forget, that's sort of important. But overall, it's been mostly optimizations and rewrites and preparing things for 7.0. Now, before I go, I do want to mention Patreon one more time, and that's because it is increasingly important to this project. As you might have noticed, I'm making dungeons, I'm making the Adventurers Guild. The camera for this channel got a lot better all of a sudden, as did the audio with this microphone, and I did upgrade my computer recently. And I do want to take just a minute here to thank all the Patreon supporters on patreon.com/MagmaGuy who have helped me purchase these things and improve the channel, improve the plugin, and just make my life overall easier with all these cool tools. So if you want to help support the project, you know, patreon.com/MagmaGuy, there's going to be a link somewhere, somehow, probably. And if you enjoy the plugin, I'm not saying you should necessarily donate, but you can review the resource, or, I don't know, subscribe to the channel. That might help. I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber, but you can join the Discord channel as well. I like getting feedback from people, and there is a Discord channel dedicated just to my development efforts. And that's about it, really. Thank you for watching, thank you for using the plugin, and if you have feedback, as per usual, you can contact me on the forums or on Discord. Discord, please. I don't like using the forums too much, but that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in hopefully not too long.